This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, sorry for the inconvenience. Some of our organizers ended the meeting. That's not my mistake. Okay. Okay, up to now we have only 155, but total attendees is up to 210. Let's wait 2 more minutes so that others will also join. Okay, so I'm going to continue it. Who having doubt, they can ask me at the end of the session. No problem. So I have totally here 4 variables. So I need to take 4 data storage. I need to pass the data with respect to the length of variables only. So now if I pass 1, 2, 3, and I'm not passing fourth value. If I not passing the length of the data as corresponds to variable, it will raise an error because the length of variables are 4, but I'm passing the data only for 3 variables. So if I run it, it will raise an error is value error. That means one value is required. That is for D. If I pass only 3 data, for these 3 variables only it will allocate it. And it's not assigned with D variable. That's why it's showing as value error like not enough values to unpack. Expected 4 but got 3. That means we have totally 4 variables and we are having only okay. So recording is already started, no problem. So we have totally here 4 variables, but we are passing only the length of data for 3 variables. That's why it show that we are getting only 3, but we are expecting totally 4. So that is the error here. And if I pass x and I can pass 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What it defines? So we are passing so much of values for single variable. We are passing so much of data to the single variable that is x. If I pass like this, what it shows? So it will not show any error. And if I give x, what it tells you? The entire data can be assigned like as a tuple. So you will get what is tuple and what is the functionality of tuple when the data structures topic came. And if you want to know about it, just type here after defining x, type of x. Now you can see this is a tuple data. Whenever you pass the more number of data separated by commas with single variable, it will defaultly take the data as a tuple. Okay, it is a tuple data type. So you will get to know what is this tuple and what is the meaning and how to unpack it when the topic came like data structures. Okay. And see if I pass x comma y comma z and I'm going to pass 34 comma 4 comma and then APSSDC comma 78. When I pass like this, what we are getting? What is the value of z storing? What is the value of Z stored? APSDC. What is the value of Y stored?
Four.
So then X stored is 3. And what is this 78 referred? This 78 is belongs to which variable then? It's not defined, right? Because we have totally 3 length of variables and we have got 4 length of data. So it is not a correct way to describe a multiple variables. That's why it will raise an error. Too many values to unpack. That means we have only 3 length of variables, but we are getting 4 length of data. That's why we are getting error like too many values to unpack. Okay. So try to observe the errors also, so that only we will rectify our errors. Now, likewise, if I pass x comma, let's take new variables, w comma e comma r equals to, I'm passing 34 comma 56.90 comma Python. And now if I pass w, it will tells me having 34 as value and e comma r. It will get you that 34, 56.9 and Python. And if I pass individual variables also, you will get the data. When you pass the data with single line, when you want to print it with a single line, it will print like a tuple. And if you print type of e, it is a float. It is a single value. But whenever you want to access that data with a single line, it will display like as a tuple syntax, but it's not exactly. W is for integer and E is defined with the floating point value and R is defined with object or string. Okay. Like this, you can assign the multiple variables with corresponding multiple data. Okay. Are you clear, guys, up to this? Variable assignment as a single variable or multiple variables? Respond me in the chat box, all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Now let's see what are the keywords we have in Python. So totally we have 35 keywords in Python. Let's see keywords in Python.
Ma'am, can you recap that multi-variables once again, ma'am?
So from this cell, 47th cell.
No, ma'am, that you told from multi-variables assigning, ma'am, from A, B, C, D equal to, you told, ma'am.
Yes, here itself.
Ah,
In the
yeah,
ABCD,
ma'am.
I'm taking variables are ABCD, but these variables are totally 4. And when I assign the data to these variables, I'm passing only 3 length of variables data, but I'm not passing a D value. That's why it raises an error, value error. That means we have totally 4 variables, but we are passing only 3. That's why it raises not enough values like this. In such cases, you need to keep one thing in your mind, that is the length of data is depends on length of variables. Okay, if you have 3 length of variables, you need to pass 3 length of data. If you have 4 length of variables, you need to pass 4 length of data. That is what the multi-variable assignment works. And also you can pass any number of data with single variable like this. Here I'm just taking only one variable, but I'm passing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means I'm passing totally 5 length of data to single variable. In such case, that entire variable is considered like as a tuple. So that means entire data is considered with respect to this variable as a tuple data type, tuple data type. So you will get to know what is this tuple and all those things when data structures came. And here if you see the same example, I'm just taking 3 variables, but I'm passing 4 length of data. So that's why it rises against too many values. But because we have 3 length of variables, but I'm passing 4, that's why too many values are unpacked. So here we are passing values are 4, but here the variables are 3. That's why we are getting error like this. And here if you see, we have 3 length of variables and 3 length of values for the variables. So it's work fine. So you can access a single variable or you can access by a single line. When you access the variables in a single line, it will display the output like as a tuple. That's it about the multiple variable assignment. Now let's see keywords in Python.
Thank you, ma'am.
So try to convert this cell into Markdown. So if you want to know the keywords in Python, you can Google it, or we have an inbuilt method to know the list of keywords in Python. Okay, so that is keyword. Keyword is an inbuilt method we have in Python. If you import that method, you can simply access the list of keywords in your Python. So try to import it. So this import is a one kind of method. Like when you see the basic example of C. So the first line is defined like hash include stdio.h, right? So in such case, that hash include is one kind of a key, one kind of syntax to include or to import that stdio.h. So whenever you use that stdio.h, then only this printf and void main, all those things will be worked out. Like this, in the Python, whenever you want to include any kind of inbuilt methods or classes or packages, you need to use one keyword like import. Okay, import is a keyword. So to import anything, import. So the keyword, here we have keyword. If you want to know the list of keywords in Python, the keyword is a method. So in this method, you will get the list of keywords. So try to import that. And finally, if you want to print that keywords, you can assign this key equals to keyword dot. You can call this keyword list from this keyword method. So you will get more clarity on these methods and functions and all those things. But try to listen first. Okay, keyword dot. This keyword is this one. Okay, keyword dot keyword list. Okay, so when I type KW and I'm just passing shift tab, I'm just clicking from my keyboard shift tab, so it will highlight that respected method. Okay, and finally I'm printing keyword comma total length of keywords. Okay, so import is a one kind of keyword you can use to import a library or package or method or a file also. Okay, so finally all the keyword lists are available with this method KW list. It is an inbuilt method. So with that list only you will get the length of keywords, total keywords. So finally I want to assign these keywords into a K variable, and finally I'm going to print that K, and finally I want to find out the length of that K also. So I'm using length of K. This length of len also inbuilt method to know the length of elements in the K. Okay, len also it will show you the length or size of that particular variable. Here I have a variable is key K. So when I type length of K, it will work like it will gives you the size or length of data in that particular K variable. Okay, try to run this. Now it will gives you the length of keywords, total keywords in your Python, and also length of keywords on the bottom. See, it will gives you the length of keywords as 35, and it will listed all the list of keywords. These are all the inbuilt keywords as, and, true, false, ASCII, break, class, def, del, else, except, fill, NI. So these are all the inbuilt keywords. So you should know how to access it. So whenever you want to access the length of keywords, you can import this keyword method or library. Okay, you can import this keyword method, and from this you need to call this KW list, keywords list. as a method, and then you can assign one variable and try to print that variable, and try to, if you want to find out the length of keywords also, you can pass length of k. So it will gives you the total number of count of that particular variable. It will gives you the size or length of that particular variable like this. Okay. Can you complete it up to this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Next, we will see the operators in Python. What are the operators you have in C language? Let me know in the chat box. Try to note down all these: comparison operators, arithmetic operators, membership operators. And we have one more. What is that? I forgot. Identity operators. Okay, arithmetic operators. We have totally 6 operators in Python, that is arithmetic operators, comparison operators, assignment operators. So we are not listed that. Assignment also there. Assignment operators. Comparison operators, logical operators, bitwise operators, identity operators, membership operators. Totally we have 7 operators in Python. So let's make it as simple. I'm just passing tab space here and mentioning that symbols also. In arithmetic operators, we are getting addition, subtraction, and multiplication, and division, and floor division, modulo division. All this came. And in the assignment operators, we will getting equal to, plus equal to, minus equal to, and star equal to, and division equal to, and also modulo division equal to. All these are assignment operators. And comparison operators are equal to, not equal to. I'm just mentioning the symbols. Greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to. These are all the comparison operators. And coming to logical operators, and, or, not. These are all the logical operators. And coming to bitwise operators, so bitwise operators are logical and, logical or, logical XOR, logical not, right shift, and left shift. These are all the bitwise operators. Coming to identity operators are is not. These two are identity operators. Coming to membership operators, not, membership operators are in, not in. These are all the operators we have in Python. Convert this cell into Markdown. And try to run this. Okay. So after these all operators, we will see these arithmetic operators, and let's wind up the session. Okay. Let's see how to perform arithmetic operators in Python. So somebody asked me about true and false. When you use all these bitwise operators and identity operators, you will get Boolean logic, either yes or no, true or false, like that. You will get that true or false when it is came. It's a Boolean, yes. So when you find is and is not, and in and not in operators, the result is like Boolean only, either true or false. There you can observe. Now let's see how these arithmetic operators in Python. So for that, I'm just taking one best KPM. I'm just taking one example, like x equals to 10 and y equals to 34. And I'm going to do some kind of addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, floor division and modulo division. Let's try to print that also. Print of x plus y. Okay. And then print of x minus y. Print of x into y. And then print of x divided by y. And print of x floor division by y. And print of x modulo division by y. And here you will get to the power of value also. So whenever you use double stars, it will give you to the power of value. Double star also came. Print of x double star of 2. Try to run this cell. Now you will get the results. So for your make understanding, you can make a quotes here also. Addition, comma, x plus y. Subtraction, comma, x minus y. Multiplication, comma, x into y. Exponential, or to the power of value. Exponent of exponent value, exponential, x to the power of 2. Here division, and here floor division. And it is a modulo division. Modulo division. If now try to run this cell, you will get answers like this. These are all the printing statement, that's it. You can pass anything inside the print. Okay. So out of this, can you understand how this, so you might already understand, I think, addition and subtraction and multiplication, right? So you are already aware about all this. And coming to exponent value, it will gives you that to the exponent value, x to the power of 2. So we have x value as 10. So when you pass x 10 to the power of 2, what is the value we are getting? So exponent value 10 to the power of 2, it will gives you the result as 100. Okay. So whenever you pass double star, it will gives you the exponent value. That's what here working. You can mention comments like this in Python. And coming to division, you might already aware about this division value. So the division single slash will give you the entire division value. And coming to floor division, so when you give floor division, it will gives you the only quotient, the quotient value only. That means whatever the value we have at the starting before the decimal point, that is only given by using floor division. So it is very important in some programming. In some cases, you need to get only quotient of the number. So quotient from the division. Then you can use floor division. So when you pass 2 slashes, you will get quotient value. That is, whatever the result we have in the division, from that we will get only quotient. That is a decimal value before the decimal value, decimal point. Okay, whatever the value we have at the starting or before the decimal point, that is considered as a quotient. And in some cases, we need to get only remainder. We need to get only remainder. Okay, in such cases, some cases you need to get only remainder value. So it will gives you the remainder only, modulo division. It will gives you whenever you pass modulo division, it will gives you the remainder value only. So when you see that 10 divided by 34, yes, right, 10 divided by 34, what is the remainder we are getting? That is what happened here with the help of modulo division. When you pass percentile symbol, you will get remainder. So let's make it here. Gives remainder. When you do floor division, it will gives coefficient. Like this, it is performed. Are you clear about this? Or do you have any doubts? You can ask me now.
మ్యామ్ సర్టిఫికేట్ రావాలంటే గిటబ్ నుంచి రావాలా మేడం?
So if you have any doubts regarding the class, you can ask me. Otherwise, I will stop the recording so that we will communicate regarding attendance and certificate. So if you have any
Hello,
doubts
hello, ma'am.
regarding the class, you can ask me. Otherwise, if
Okay,
you
ma'am.
don't have
Ma'am,
any
here
doubts,
at,
you can leave the meeting.
ma'am, here in the division value 0.29 something is there, ma'am. Can we get a round figure
Yes.
value, like 0.